Hi guys. Okay, we're on Learning Module 10, Academic Affairs, and the first question is, what do you think are the main functions of academic affairs within higher education? I think the functions of academic affairs within higher education are titled Academic Affairs because they are just what those words convey, in that they involve all academically related affairs and oversee all operations of the academic division. Fulfilling the mission and vision of the institution is a big overall function that they must do. Under that includes other important aspects such as strategic and budget planning, implementing and administering long-range goals and priorities for the institution, providing administrative oversight and leadership of the various departments, research responsibilities such as compliance agreements and data analysis, and serving as an external representation party to all parties outside of the actual academic profession or groups. How do these functions differ based upon the type of institution? Question 2. The functions may differ based upon the type of institution because they may be categorized and organized differently depending on the size of the institution and the type of institution. For example, the task force touches on how the roadmap to 2015 for the Associate Provost for Academic Affairs will utilize corporate partners to increase internship opportunities for students. A smaller community college or technical school may not even have such priorities on their radar because their programs are not formatted to do so. A reverse of this can be seen in four-year institutions putting time and energy into articulation agreements with community colleges so that students will be intrigued to transfer to their particular institution, knowing that their credits will transfer in and be accounted for, and that they continue forward in their education. Ultimately, the overall institutional procedures and protocol may be different as set forth by the Board of Trustees or the governing body, and that therefore causes a variety of structures, positions, and responsibilities within various institutions and their academic affairs department. The third question, what were the three institutions that you compared and contrasted? What were the main similarities and differences of these areas, and how do you account for those differences? The three institutions I compared and contrasted were Georgia Southern University, Georgia College and State University, and Kennesaw State University. Each school presented the Office of Academic Affairs in the same way on the website by describing how the Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs is the Chief Academic Officer, falling only just below the President, whom they report directly to. Each talked about how the provost oversees whichever colleges are at that school. The biggest difference would be that Kennesaw State University actually has a faculty affairs department, which is primarily responsible for managing policies and procedures related to faculty, overseeing faculty searches and hiring, handling faculty leaves, and coordinating faculty evaluations and reviews related to tenure, promotion, and post-tenure review. Such a division is not present at the other two colleges. Also, Georgia College divides the College of Academic Affairs into three primary responsibilities: leading, facilitating, and coordinating. Their organizational structure is more like Kennesaw State's than Georgia Southern's in that it reflects a smaller university and there are less divisions, and it is structured differently based on those three responsibilities. The last question, discuss the role of faculty as it relates to academic affairs. Do you think it is an appropriate role? If so, in what way? And if not, how should it change? Faculty doesn't play as big of a role in academic affairs as those who hold the titles within the provost's office. However, a lot of what academic affairs does is centered around faculty, as this is where their support comes from. The faculty are appointed, promoted, and provided with developmental opportunities through academic affairs. Leadership opportunities also present themselves for faculty within academic affairs. Throughout the colleges, the appointments of deans and assistant deans is done through academic affairs, and faculty are given these positions as they are deemed fitting. For instance, on Georgia College's website, under their leading blurb, it states that by working with academic leaders and faculty to articulate an academic vision for the university, set the overall academic direction of the university, and establish the academic agenda and priorities for the future. Note that in that it says academic leaders and faculty. Overall, I think this is an appropriate role. This is the way I view it. If any faculty want to be particularly involved in leadership roles and responsibilities, they will obtain the education and experience necessary to do so and show a drive to reach that level. Some faculty may be completely content in simply teaching and conducting their research without getting involved in leadership type roles. Granted, I do think it is very important that department meetings be held and all faculty are allowed the opportunity to voice their opinions and give updates on what is going on or any research which they have been conducting. Many departmental decisions can be made based on their input. An example of this can be seen at the current institution in which I work. Last month, they hosted their quarterly curriculum meeting in which I attended, and several proposals were made. One was to remove a CIS class, a CISM class, from a particular major because they did not feel it served any relevance to that major. This was a faculty-based proposal and was approved based on enough other faculty members agreeing. The actual deans did not even vote, they simply sat in and supervised. I like this type of structure and allowing the faculty the chance to be involved since they are in the classrooms day in and day out. Therefore, I ultimately think that faculty's place in academic affairs is just and granted.